The other interesting thing that we've gone into in the last few months are the possibilities of tungsten in the area. Tungsten, of course, is another critical metal. Tungsten is looking very interesting. Our neighbors at Pilot Mountain, Guardian Metal Resources, have done very well drilling for tungsten, and we would love to emulate their success. We found that we occasionally, because we've got so many claims, we occasionally dust them all down and see what we've got. And because we're a small team, we can't work on them all the time. We have around about 60 square kilometers of claims, which is an awful lot of acres. And towards the end of last year, we had a look at tungsten possibilities, and on some of our existing claims, just to the northeast of our copper resource in the Huntoon Valley, we found that we knew we had them before, but we dusted down two old tungsten workings from the Second World War called Defender and Pine Crow. And these were shallow tungsten mines, which presumably were developed for part of the war effort, because after 1945, they didn't seem to have been touched anymore. We had a look at them, and then we realized that they actually sit right on the boundary of our claims. So we thought, if we have tungsten here, we would like to have all of it. So we then went out and staked some claims there back in the back end of last year. So we now have a nice halo of claims around these two tungsten mines. And earlier this year, we've been out there and done a lot of grab samples and used some fairly fancy tools to look at the grabs and so forth. And we came up with some nice results, which we published. We RNS'd them a few weeks back now. But they do look really interesting, because most of our grabs were between the two old tungsten workings, and they're about 3/4 of a mile apart, the tungsten workings. And we were getting good grab samples all the way between the two. Now, the tungsten mines from the Second World War were only shallow mines. We think that there's the potential for some deep mining to be done there. We now have it. We've done the grabs, and the grabs are fine. Again, probably in the next couple of weeks, we have a two-man geo team going out to do a soil sample grid, and that should be interesting. And depending on that, the next stage will be to do a gravity survey, which is a little bit more expensive than other surveys, but tungsten lends itself to gravity because it's such a dense material. And if the soils and the gravity look good, then the next phase would be to go and drill that, and it wouldn't be very difficult to drill. It's pretty accessible from the highway. It's no big deal to get a rig there. So that is a potential for drilling.